G'day everybody, Wade Northhausen here for Billboard Battalion. So today we're coming to you live from Ben Duxsons' place here at Wallaloo in the Wimmera, and we're here because this is another situation of access denied to TCV, and they're expecting to have TCV here very soon. So we'll walk along here and you can see there's a massive big lineup of utes and people here to support Ben. So we'll just walk along here and give people an idea of how many people are here. So as you can see, we've got the whole setup here. Got the Starlink on the go. Got the power box here, making that work. Doing some video and also commentary. So yeah, we've punched it across this morning from Shepparton. So we had an appointment in Shepparton this morning, so therefore we got all that done, and now it's been about a 4-hour trip over here at travelling safely at a safe speed. That's what we're doing, travelling at a safe speed. So anyway, we've made it over here pretty well spot on, exactly at the right time. So bit of a walk down the old road here. Fair few people here supporting Duxons here, so it's good to see that community spirit and support is alive and well around this region here. So you've got stop, do not enter without consent signs on gates. We've got the whole fire truck coming down through the centre here. That's a CFA. The very CFA that, would you believe that the Allen government, the Jacinta Allen government, who's at the minute pushing all this stuff with TCV, is actually trying to tax the volunteer firefighters out of existence. So when these people have their own volunteers, and the government is there to tax the hell out of them, it just makes you wonder, why does the government hate our farmers so much? Because this is all part of, what we call the war on farmers. The government's war on farmers. So this is Jeff Cott Brigade. We're a little bit out of our area across here, so I'm not exactly sure where Jeff Cott Brigade is located, but I imagine it would be the local brigade here. We'll just uh-oh.
Still working, so may not have been using Starlink.
Well, let's just get across here without come through here quickly without getting run over. And what we can do we might just sit this down somewhere. Oh, right.
Just wanted to, Emma, you could get on that to get photos and stuff. Just wanted to get a bit of height so we can.
Rightio, so we've got it all happening across here. I'm not sure where Benny is, but we could go and try and track him down for a minute. Wouldn't be funny if they see a list and then decide to do a runner. It's really incredible the size of this crowd here. I reckon it'd have to be a couple of hundred here, I would have thought.
Yes.
But anyway, we'll go for a bit of a quick look through here and see what we can find. There you go, mate.
Good. We'll come back and talk.
So yeah, it's a bit of a mission to try and track down old Benny here. But anyway, must be somewhere.
You're all over it. How good was that? You nailed it. Oh, well done.
You know, this is like being at the footy. Pretty hard to track down who's who, really. We might go across to the truck, Nick, and jump up and see if we can give people a bit of a better idea of the crowd, the size of the crowd. There you go, mate.
Hi there.
You with Carl?
Nah, my name's Henry. I'm with the Star Times News.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Okay. Yep. No, we're just doing a bit of coverage here for Billboard Battalion, and it's good to see that the mainstream media is actually here, Henry. So
whereabouts are you based?
So we're based in Echuca.
Oh yeah.
And so we've just come across here today to cover this, because we've been trying to do as much as we can to cover what's happening here. So we're live right now.
Yeah.
So we've been, trying to do as much as we can to give coverage to everything's happening here.
Great.
The stuff that's going on with this is horrendous, and I think, there's Benny. How you going, mate? Excellent. We'll catch up and have a yarn in a minute. So this is happening all across Australia. We do a lot of travelling around Australia, and talking about the politics and what's happening with agriculture in particular. And this is just another shot, another kick in the guts for agriculture with what's happening here.
They've got a pretty strong united front here, though, don't they?
It is. It's remarkable, and I mean, look, traditionally, Henry, when there's some sort of an emergency in rural and agricultural areas, people come together. And what we're dealing with, this is an emergency. This stuff is this is a disaster, and we've seen enormous pushback from communities coming together and fighting this stuff. So it's encouraging. Hopefully we can sort of have an impact on the whole show and make people understand who, particularly from Melbourne and so on, who they always play against the country people, as you'd know.
I think they'd be very appreciative that you're here covering it.
Well, we do what we can. We cover as much as we possibly can. So, it's a case of all hands on deck, really, isn't it? This is where Australia comes together.
That's right.
So good on you, Henry.
Could I grab a snap of you while you're in action here?
Absolutely. So this is our message to the world, really, in terms of agriculture and farming and so on. You're welcome, mate. Do you have a card, Henry, at all?
Got one in the car. I'll grab one.
We'll catch up. We'll catch up with you. Yeah, that's great. We might see if we can jump up on the truck, Nick, and get a bit better access point.
Not only does it put transmission through here, but it puts agricultural products in
Yeah, mate. Alrighty, you fit in there. So we can see what we've got over here at Ben Duxsons' place here now. Much better view of the crowd. If we shoot down the road each way, we can see pretty well that there's a fair stack of people here. So they've got lots of Australian flags here, lots of stop Labor's towers, hands off our land. It's just all happening here. Bowen's Brains net zero. Yeah, well, Bowen's Brains is net zero, mate. I'm here to tell you. So We actually see Chris Bowen up front and personally when we're in Canberra at Parliament there, and the things that they do are, these government people are barefaced liars. They are just absolute scum of the highest order. They must know, and they will know, that what they're doing is lying their guts out while setting Australia up to be wiped out. And this whole thing that we're seeing here now, this has got nothing at all to do with creating a better, more environmentally friendly and all that other crap electricity system, because climate change is a complete and utter fraud. It is a hoax, and it is designed specifically to give this problem here, to bring this problem to farmers in particular, because they are in the business, the government who work for the UN and the WEF and the WHO, they are in the business of shutting down Australia's food supply. They're in the business of shutting down global food supplies, and this is one of the strategies that they are using to do that. So for those that have started to focus on is, of course, the likes of the National Farmers Federation. And we've been trying to get to do an interview with the new... Okay. Yep, okay, let's go. So we've just seen the car go past here and calls from someone to shut the gate. So anyway, I'm not sure that car is keeping on going. And it is pulling up there, so the gates are now being shut.
I hadn't even started your car, so everyone's been held up in rain, which has been good for us over the last 2 weeks. But everyone's in really good spirits, and the way in which they're going to find it very hard.
Okay, so I've got a car turning around and coming back this way. I'm not exactly sure who that is, but
Good man, thanks for that.
seems to be.
Good on ya.
Seems to be that they reckon it might be some of these TCV people. So you can see what's facing them when they come. You can see what they're being faced with. So not exactly sure until I get out. I suppose they'll have something on their gear to indicate who it is. Yep, I would say it's in with a chance. But this is who we're looking at. So we've got here signage, Alistair Parker Farm Killer. How are you, mate?
Good, mate. Good. How are you? Ben? How are you going, Ben? Good. Brad from Grassroots Victoria.
Who's the other guy? I've seen
That Shane is
Shane. That's his name.
Can we get your ID, Shane, please?
He's just here with my
No, we
security.
didn't see his ID.
No, he's a security.
One. It doesn't matter.
You want to see my
Yeah, no, you're right. We want to see his ID. No, can you bring it up here and get a photo?
I've got it with you.
Hang on. So you don't want to be photoed with your ID, but you're happy to come here.
He's got no camera on. There's no camera on.
No, it doesn't matter. But we just like to see who's coming.
Why is he hiding it?
Oh, he's not coming on to the property. I was just here for a conversation.
Well, that's what you're here for, to try and get there.
There's no forced access onto the property today.
But you've been telling us that.
Well, I'm here in regards to that, but there's not going to be any forced
you do
access.
your spiel. What's your spiel?
Well, is Heather here, or are you
No,
acting
she's
on
not.
behalf of
Acting
your own?
on behalf, that's correct.
Oh, okay. So I just want to confirm you received a recent notice.
Just hanging there, mate. That's
You
how
got it
do
there?
it.
Okay.
Yeah, look at that. Take a photo of that. That's where you put it.
Right. You remember where you put it?
You mightn't have put it there.
Well, just in regards to that notice, that's why I'm here today. Just respectfully ask if we can access the property to undertake a survey.
No, that's not
No?
possible.
Not going to happen?
Access denied.
But I
Ain't
think
going to happen.
while you're here,
Yeah.
I reckon you need to explain to all these people out here of the way this is going to unfold now. So you've got massive power here. You've got power to come into on our land. You've got taxpayer money. You've got the law on your side. You've got a really strong hand, haven't you? But what we want to hear is how you're going to get through the people here. And these good people are all got pride and passion for their farms, haven't they? And I don't understand how your program and your project's going to get through. But can you please explain that to us? Because everyone's wanting to know what the next move is of your company.
I can't explain that. I'm just here to facilitate the survey. So, look, I can give you...
Can we get Alistair Parker out here, or Lily D'Ambrosio, or Chris Bowen, or Jacinta Allen, or Anthony Albanese? Because this is big. And what you don't understand...
Oh, so Alistair last night was on the 7:30 report.
And he lied. He couldn't even get the fines right.
You don't understand that these are people's
48,000
farms.
a corporation, not his 800 or 600 he claimed. Like, he looked incompetent. They're the rules he made. He should at least know what they are.
As the person in charge, do you know what the next move is?
I'm not in charge.
Can
I'm
you tell us?
here. I'm just facilitating surveys for the project. So that's why I'm only here
But you've had
asking.
2 weeks of this. You've called some of them off. You must have a plan. They must be talking to you. Why aren't they talking to you?
Well, I don't know what the next plan is.
Is this
I
a
don't.
stunt for the EES so that you can claim that you have been
Which
and
is already
seed
written, so.
and you were denied? But look at us, we've ticked a box, so let's proceed. Is it to pacify the Spanish company that is going to get the build? Are you keeping them hanging on and making it into basically, look at us, we're doing the right thing, this is still going to happen, cough up your money? When Alistair knew from day one this was a hard no, and it is still a hard no. Not sure, I think most people amongst us here know what no means, but for some reason Vic Grid and Alistair and Lily don't comprehend the meaning of no. Have a good look around. This is what no looks like.
Just go back to this guy over here. He's been interrogating farmers now for 2 years, turning up on our roadsides, walking around. Have a look at him. Everybody have a look at this face over here, because I don't think he's going to get employed again in Victoria. This bloke over here has been interrogating every farmer around. Oh, he wants to wrap it up now. He doesn't want to be here. But that's what you've been doing, interrogating farmers.
This is pure taunting on your behalf. You need to stop this. Alistair Parker needs to stop this. If he wants to come and try and get on their land, get him out here. Get those people out here. And you know what? The people's support is talking. And they are talking. Alistair Parker, come out here and come and try and take our farms. The Victorian government try and take our farms. It's not going to happen.
All right, Ben, good. Look,
Why have you got to have 3 visits?
Exactly.
I'll leave it
have you
here.
gotta
I'm going to
come
go.
3
Good.
times
Thanks for your
and
time.
annoy
Good to talk to you, Ben. Any
Stop
questions? Any other
Why have you
questions?
got to have
Stop
3
taunting us.
visits?
Stop
Okay.
taunting us. We've told you time and time again.
Best thing you ever done was walk away, mate.
So here, well, let's see if we can have a yarn. How you going there, mate? Would you mind having a bit of a chat to us for a minute over here, if you like?
No, I'm just here to facilitate the survey. I'm not a project spokesman.
Yeah, no, I just thought it'd be interesting just to, just get your opinion on when you see all these people here, what that sort of feels like, because these people are pretty passionate and they're protecting their land, and I know you're doing a job.
Totally understand the position. I understand the position. I understand both positions. I'm just here to do a job.
Yeah, yep. So, all right, well, look after yourself. Catch up with you later. So, therefore, we're just trying to very respectfully, just have a bit of a word with these blokes from TCV. And anyway, I get that they're in a bit of a difficult position, and that, as Benny's just said there before, we should be having the boss out here. Isn't that right, Benny?
Big bosses,
Yeah, where are they? They send these fellas out here, and they're we can't say anything, we can't do anything, just following the rules, just doing our job.
Yep.
And they can't really bring
What is
it.
them coming then?
They can't really bring any answers.
No.
And they can't negotiate anything, and they can't sort of tell you where they intend to end this up.
That's right. Exactly.
So, and as you rightly said, they do have incredible power. They have a lot of legislation behind them and so on now, from a bunch of cowards and lowlifes in Spring Street in Melbourne. So
I reckon they've underestimated us anyway, Wade. That's the thing. Like, and you know what? It's okay to be wrong in sometimes in your life, and the government's got to admit that. They've got to admit they've got this energy policy wrong. They've got to stop. They've got to start working for every Australian household and every Australian business to deliver cheap, reliable power to everyone, not to multinational, multi-billionaires, multinationals, institutional investors, and ex-government employees. That's all the subsidies are about.
So
When in the trough.
And as we've seen Bowen and Albanese say we're going to have lowest prices of electricity. It's going through the roof.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. It's just crazy the way they're doing it.
So you can't believe one thing that they say at all.
I wouldn't believe it, but
So-
I'll just address the crowd.
Yeah, mate, for sure.
I'm just going to add a couple of words.
Yep.
Oh, sorry.
Hey, do
Can I have your attention? Sorry.
you want to hold that, please, Benny, so we can live stream what you're saying?
Just a massive thank you. Get all your signs up. There's going to be plenty of photos taken up here. Just a massive thanks for everyone turning up here today. Didn't expect it. Didn't need it. You can see how an easy kill these people are. But I think what the last 2 weeks, and we've always said this, the fight's going to be at the gateway, and now it is well and truly at the gateway. The government knows what they're in for now, and to think we all make mistakes, we all get things wrong, but they need to admit it themselves and stop pushing ahead with this ridiculous energy policy that will take over 70% of Victorian farming country. That's without the mining people as well. So the mining people are here. Add that on top. This is no good for Australia. It's certainly no good for the farmers. And by every one of you turning up here, they'll get the message that they cannot come out here and bulldoze through here. I always start putting myself in their shoes, and I honestly do not know how they penetrate us now. With this amount of support, and thank you to everyone that's come from a long way away, you're all seeing it. This is a grassroots movement that will only get bigger and bigger. So make sure you're out there, make sure you're telling everyone, make sure you're educating everyone, and that's all we've ever done. We've done it peacefully, and we've done it really well. So these clowns have got a real opposition out here that they know they can't get through, and you've got the pride, the passion, the love, the morals and the value for your communities. And that will outbeat anyone that's got a heap of public money, who can change the rules, have got all the billionaires out there and all that. They've got a really strong hand, but they haven't got this hand, and this hand will win it. So thank you, everyone, for coming out. Hold the signs up too. Hold the signs up. Every sign, hold it up, and just make sure you keep talking about it over the Christmas table. We'll be back next year. As we asked them today what their plan is, he didn't give it an answer of the plan. Alistair Parker, Chris Bowen, Lily D'Ambrosio, Jacinta Allen and Anthony Albanese are the only ones that can do anything, and they're going to come out here and try and stop us, and we won't let them try and stop us either. So well done for everyone for turning up. Keep turning up, keep spreading the word, keep educating, because people power win this, and it's just starting to get going. Anyone else?
Go on, Benny.
Thank you for coming.
So this is an enormous crowd, mate. How does that make you feel to see all the hard work and everything that you've done in organising supporters for other people, and now it's your turn and these people are here?
I just think everyone needs a grassroots movement like this, Wade. That's what it's about. Like, people are sick of what the government's doing to them now, and we can only do it by all actually grabbing hold of something and certainly working together, and denying access like this is just simply beautiful and easy.
So when we see fires, we see the community turn out in numbers. When we see floods, we see the community turn out in numbers.
Thanks for coming.
No worries.
Good job.
Do you consider this as equally as big an emergency to see our farmers being invaded and the government going to war against us?
Yeah, I think it's a government-induced energy crisis that they're talking about. They keep talking this as a critical infrastructure, and that's all they've really got at the moment. So critical infrastructure, it's not. It's a government-induced critical infrastructure build. So we're onto that. If we can do that, what we want to do is educate everyone out there to make sure that they know. And the energy price, I don't understand a person in Australia that's energy prices are coming down. Businesses are going broke at the moment. This is really bad policy for Australia. We need to stop and start again. It's all right to say you're wrong, that's fine, but you're up against people now out in the country that aren't going to move.
Yep, absolutely. All right, mate. Well, look, thank you so much for that. Really, really great to catch up.
Thanks, Annalise.
Rightio, so that's the event for today. That's what we've seen, and I think it's a bit concerning as to their next step, as in the TCV. And I think that they should be absolutely looking at this and saying, no way, we are not going to push this any harder. But we've already seen them on the 7:30 report last night say that they're going to continue to go ahead with this. So I'm not sure where that ends up. I'm not sure what the end of the day is, but I'm fairly concerned, as I said, over some of the new legislation that's been put through the Australian Parliament last week. Last Thursday, in fact, we were there and saw the whole thing at 7:15 p.m. on the 27th of November. They put through new bills, and that will now become legislation. And I think that it is, as I've said before, we need to push this, that it is absolutely disgraceful that what we're seeing is that the immediate past CEO of the National Farmers Federation is actually now the Commissioner for Renewable Infrastructure. And when we look at this stuff here, these pictures here on the gate, that's the very renewable infrastructure that we've been talking about. And Tony Ma is now the ex-CEO of the National Farmers Federation is now what all these people are here. These are our farmers. That is what they're fighting against. So when you think about that, you wonder, how can Tony Ma get a job that's the commissioner in charge of this attack on farmers? He's in it up to his eyeballs. So now we're possibly starting to see why, in my opinion, the National Farmers Federation have not fought one bit to save our farmers. In fact, what we've seen from the NFF is they say they support net zero. So we've been trying to interview our old mate in charge of the NFF, Hamish McIntyre, and ask him a few questions. Put the questions to him as, how is it that the National Farmers Federation supports the very thing that is attacking our farmers right here? How do they support that? How do they do it? We need some answers from Hamish McIntyre, the new NFF president, and I think that this is getting more serious and more dire, and we're really, really going to need answers from the NFF because it appears to me that they support all this. It appears to me that I can't see anybody. We can't get them to talk. We can't get them to make a statement. We can't get them to say anything at all to support our farmers. So what does the National Farmers Federation actually do? What is it for? I know that, they get subs from state bodies. The farmers actually supply money.
Marcia will talk to you, Bill, if you want.
Yep.
Marcia.
Good on you. Okay, we'll grab Marcy. Hey, Marcia, how you going there?
Thanks, how you going, mate?
So we're talking about the new National Environmental Protection Agency bill that went through the Senate last Thursday.
Yes.
Are you up to speed with that at all?
No, I can't say that I am. I imagine it's not good for farmers though. We're currently fighting, as you know, VNI West and also a res zone. This whole area has been declared a res zone, even though the community has consulted at every stage with the VIC group, which was the Victorian Government authority that's dealing with this. Hundreds of submissions, and from the very beginning, it's been a consistent no. However, when the first draft came out, our area was right in the middle. So then we decided we'd map it. We'd make it so they couldn't possibly, misunderstand, because they were pretending to misunderstand what we'd said.
Yep.
And we did. We ended up mapping, sat down with all of the members of our community and sort of further out. And it ended up being about 80% of landholders said they didn't want to be in a res and they wouldn't host any renewable energy infrastructure. And so the area that's been declared a res has that amount of land owners opposed to it, and they've still gone ahead, and now we're in the final processes of them, I suppose, ratifying it. And I mean, from a landowner perspective, that's incredibly upsetting, because what does that mean? That they're going to try and compulsory acquire? Because if you've got landowners saying they're not going to host renewables or any renewable energy infrastructure, why would you put a res there? Like, the entire point of it is completely, I suppose, lost, isn't it? And so going forward, to make this a successful res, they will have to be prepared to compulsory acquire land for batteries, substations, wind farms, all of those things. And I mean, I think that's just extremely distressing. And there's nothing that's fair or open or transparent in this situation, because our community could not have been more clear.
Yep.
We went to every drop-in session, every night session, day session, and they said to us, I actually spoke to one of their main communications officers, and he said to me, I said, could there be, given the amount of feedback we've had, could there be any misunderstandings about how opposed our community is to res? And he said, no, I don't think there could be. And I said, so there's no way we could end up being in the res? And he said, well, that would be very, very unlikely. And yet here we are.
And here we are.
Yep.
So we were called to go across to Dedarang in the Koowa Valley.
Yes.
I don't know, maybe 6 or 8 months ago now.
There,
Yep. Well, there was only supposed to be one.
Now there's 2.
So we were there at the community called a Shire meeting in town there, and the place was packed. And the overwhelming majority of people were against it, and the Shire Council was against it.
Same with the Shire's formally opposed the res here as well. Yep.
Well, and then they get the word from the government that the minister has overridden everything, and it's just said, well, we're going to have a battery there, going to have a BESS there, and now, just to add insult to injury, we're going to have 2 BESSes.
Yeah, it's very wrong. And I know some of the people up there, and they did fight very hard, and it was a very united community. I feel very sad for them. And so this is, I suppose, this is what we sort of need to prepare for, is that they do intend to go ahead. So what do we do from here? And this is one of the things that I'm trying to speak to with regard to this new Environmental Protection Agency that's been set up only last Thursday. I think that we need to possibly re-look at some additional tactics and some additional pushback, and say to our farmer lobby groups, well, why aren't you fighting back against this stuff? Why aren't they supporting? It would be good to have some more united farmer groups. I mean, especially the representative ones for our state and at a federal level. It does seem that they've been a little bit missing in the situation, particularly at a national level. I don't know much about the new president, but I'm hoping that that will be rectified, because the prior one obviously was a turbine host, so it was very conflicted, and in fact was sort of actively pushing the agenda for that down here in this area. So we were very concerned with what was going on with the national farmers at that time, we really hope that things going forward, that the actual farmers on the ground will be represented, because it's a large majority that are against these things, because they just want to farm, they want to protect their biodiversity, they want to protect their communities, and that's been ignored in this ridiculous push.
Most certainly, and
I'm going to have to go because my kids are
they're running right, so I'll do a little bit of commentary now, and we'll go and talk to a few other people. So what Marcia was talking about there with regard to the NFF, she was talking about the ex-president, which was David Joe-Hinckley. And I've spoken to David Joe-Hinckley many times over the time I've known him, and he, in my opinion, is 100% behind pushing for all this rubbish that the international corporates want to push through here and make squillions out of Australia, and at the same time destroying our energy supplies. So, and the new, as I've said before 100 times, the new president, Hamish McIntyre, we want to talk to him. We want to say what's going on, Hamish. So anyway, we might have a bit of a look and see who else is around here that can speak to some of these things. I'll just see if Julie, how you going, mate?
Good, thanks.
Would you? This is an enormous situation here. This is a great turnout for people. How do you feel about seeing so many people here turn out to defend Benny?
Oh, well, I'm not surprised with all the work and everything he's done. Like, he is the one that has highlighted that this makes sense. You've just got to make it make sense. On the 7:30 report last night, we had Bruce Mountain say that VNI is not required. We have Alistair Parker, CEO, continuing to say that it is a critical piece of infrastructure that is needed. The research tells us it's not. They need to go away and redo it. They were told from day one it was a hard no, and we are continuing with our hard no. So nothing has changed except how they try and force it more and more and more, and it's just 100% a scam. As Professor Bruce Mountain said, they have done the options and everything. All we have to do is upgrade the infrastructure we've got. It's a build that's not required. It's not something that everyday Australians have to pay for. It's just not something that we should bear the cost of that's not needed.
So, Julie, on the 7:30 report last night, we heard Alistair say about these fines. And I don't even know if he understands his own words or whatever the hell he's even dealing with. He's talking about fines that are so small when in fact they're a lot larger than that.
Yes, well, originally it was $1,200 to access, and then it was $12,000, and then it was $48,000 fine if you denied access if you were a corporation. And then the Greens allowed it through because they reduced the amount of fines, but the fines are still out there. And at this point, I've given up legislation because they change the rules every time they don't get what they want. They just think they can bully us, intimidate us. We've survived worse, we've been through worse, and what they don't realise, every farmer here today has fought for what they have got. They've fought the weather, they've fought bureaucracy, they've fought the system. So it's not like it's something we're not used to, and hence why we're all standing today. Because there's a bigger picture at play. They want what we've got, and they're just not having it. We're not being intimidated, we're not being bullied, and we're standing up for our communities and for each other.
No, that's what country people are about, you know, and like we've seen so many things that we should have now the entire national ag sector coming together, because we're seeing things all over Australia that are attacking farmers from politicians and governments and so on. So, you know, do you think that we should be starting to look at a national campaign where we start to highlight all the different things in different regions and come together as an actual national fighting force?
Look, I think we're endeavouring to do that, but I think I hate to say it, but it's just like people don't really appreciate look, we're all busy doing what we're doing. We're in the middle of harvest. We're here now because it's rained. The headers are stopped. So I think what happens is people, they're aware and they think it's terrible, but until it impacts them directly, they don't often know the ins and outs of it or the actual details and things like that. So it sort of does make it complicated because each area has its issues, and hence why you nearly find that it's a community groups. It's community groups that often have a lot of strength, and are coming together as a bigger group. Like there's the Across Victoria Alliance. That is a lot of grassroots groups coming together because we're finding those out there that we thought would protect us, like our local members or the VFF, who are slowly coming to the table and realising we must protect the land and farmers' rights. The NFF, who are they? Nobody knows. So it's the grassroots people are having to reinvent these groups. They come under, they've got no names, they've got no big organisations, they've got no funding. They've just got passion, and values and determination, and that's what we're finding happening.
That is brilliantly said, because the NFF, who are they? Well, we've been trying to track down the new president, Hamish McIntyre, but I'm not sure if he actually exists, because we've done everything we can. We've called him. We've been to NFF headquarters, and Hamish McIntyre, we can't find him at all. And if you had the backing of the National Farmers Federation behind you here, how much difference would that make?
I hate to say it, I don't know very much. The only thing they have above us is they have the direct ear to the people in power. So maybe they would have some influence at that level, but in the end they have no influence at this level. We've lost faith in them. We don't look to their leadership anymore. We do it ourselves.
Yep.
And so we have to try and get the voice of the people that matter ourselves.
All right. Well, look, we've been to a lot of these things, Julie, and everybody just does such an amazing job. I know you're up to your eyeballs in fighting this stuff, and the enormous amount of work that you put in, as well as a huge number of other people. So thank you very much for what you're doing. And we'll go and catch up with a few more people. But thanks for talking to us, and giving the people watching this will go far and wide and into the cities as well. We need our city people to understand what's happening out here.
100%, and I think what the city people need to realise, as I said before, this infrastructure is not needed, and this infrastructure gets built and that bill gets added onto their everyday power bills.
Yep.
It is the everyday Australian. You think of the one thing that everybody has is power, whether it's your old folks home, your kinders, the lawyers, the doctors, the mum and the dad, the schools, whatever. If everybody had cheaper power, everybody benefits. We don't need these bills, so why should we foot the bill for them? So we are fighting to protect the environment, the true environment. There are wedges flying over it, and we are fighting to protect the city people for not having to spend money that they don't have on things that we don't need. It's purely that, and this money should be spent on things where it's needed. It should be spent on hospitals and education and roads and things like that. It should be spent on medication that people can't afford and they need it. Like, health is wealth. So we need to stop this reckless spending and spend it where it's needed. And by us stopping this, we are protecting their bills as well.
And just to tidy up a bit, this system, and we've heard experts, you and I, and all these people have heard experts say it can't deliver what they're saying. It's not 100%. Capable. So in Shepparton there a few years ago, they were shutting down the cool stores that store our food. There's a huge amount of cool stores in Shepparton. And if they have to start shutting them down and all your food goes off, or your hospitals, so the aircon goes off and the older people start to pass away and all that sort of thing. So this is serious stuff.
Look, we have a society that needs power. There's no two ways about that. But none of this is to do with power. We don't talk about using less. They've suddenly made an electric car. Everything you have is on standby. So they are gearing us up to need more and more and more. This is just not the right way to do it. Absolutely. We actually have enough power. And there's enough renewables in the mix. We just cannot store it. It's intermittent. Nobody has 3 cars in the garage because you don't know whether one's going to work or not. It's just the system's broken.
It is.
Thank you.
Well, thanks a lot for that, Julie. We'll catch up with you a bit later, eh?
Thanks.
All right, so we might go and see who else we've got here who might be able to say something to us. No? Well, that looks like a solid no. We'll go and have a look and see who else is about here.
What's it talking about, really? Yeah. It's, talking really big figures about the fact that there isn't enough copper. Is there way? Isn't enough copper in the world to build all this shit that they want to build?
No, and I think now I'm just trying to remember now that you've brought that up. I wasn't thinking about that.
Sorry.
But when you look at the minerals and stuff that they're talking about, and the swap over to all electric vehicles, and they'll build all enough batteries, it's decades.
Oh yeah,
and
it's decades. Like, well, actually dig up this stuff to make this stuff, and the effect on the environment, and where we're actually going to produce agricultural food and production is there won't be any land left to produce food.
Well, 70% of Victoria.
Yeah, correct.
If they get the full renewable rubbish that they're talking about, it's going to occupy 70% of Victoria's food producing farmland.
Which is horrific. Which you know, it's not only Victoria and Australia that we're feeding. We're feeding the world. Like there'll be other countries that rely on Australia for its production of food or for their survival.
Because we're seeing across the world, farmers are being shut down under the whole climate change, getting to net zero crap, that fraud. So all of a sudden, everyone who says, "Oh, we'll just import food if our farmers can't grow it," you won't be. So we're at a bit of a crossroads here, where this is looking very bad for government policy and WEF policy and so on. This isn't looking good.
This isn't just Australia. This is Europe as well, and all over the world. Like,
absolutely.
This isn't just isolated to a small pocket in Victoria. It's nationwide, and like policy development needs to be changed. But to do that, we need political balls to actually make some long-term decisions about the future for Australia.
Absolutely right. Where the agricultural sector has, though, Barry has very, very strong and powerful NFF, for example.
I don't know whether they're that strong about lots of things. Some of
that was
actually,
sarcasm, just in case you missed it.
Sorry. It's some of our advocacy is left to be, wanting.
Well, it'd be left to be wanting if you could actually find it.
Correct.
So, I mean, it's like they say in some of the places, you can't complain about the service because there isn't any.
Isn't any? That's correct. Yeah.
So, but we've been trying to hunt down our fearless leader of the National Farmers Federation for a little while now, and he's AWOL. I mean, I'm not sure when. So David Johinke is the immediate past president of the National Farmers Federation. He lives around here somewhere, I think.
Yeah, he lives near Doon. He lives near Doon at Autumn. Yeah.
So now we've been trying to catch up with David Johinke for a long time to actually do an interview with him and maybe talk to the Policy Council in National Farmers Federation. But mate, they fight like if they fought as hard for us as they do not to have to talk to us. Well, this.
Yeah, that's political parties and the NFF.
So I think
I suppose we're getting not what we deserve, what we're prepared to put up with realistically.
Yeah.
Like if people are going to put up with the VFF not advocating for them, well, perhaps they need to vote with their feet. And like I haven't been a VFF or NFF member since 1987.
Oh, so
I'm not a member of either because I don't think they're doing a very good job.
Well,
not that I'd know anything like.
Well, I reckon if we had to get for president for the National Farmers Federation between you and Hamish, I know which one I'd rather have, because you can actually see you're here in person. So, but this is where we need people in these organisations, Barry, who are actually in the real world. Acting at levels where there are threats and where impacts are felt. So do you think that our city cousins, who we need to get on side with us here, do you think they realise that all this renewable rubbish is putting their food supply at risk?
I think they don't really realise, because until we have a three-day rolling blackouts in Melbourne, won't flush, the running water won't be pumped.
Yes, and then you know what's going to happen? Chris Bowen and the Prime Minister are going to say, it's climate change. You people did it. You people are responsible. We've got to cut your food off. So.
We didn't do that. They've done it to themselves. That's lack of action by multiple governments. really.
Yeah. So, all right, mate. Well, look, thanks very much for talking to us, Barry, and we'll catch up with you again soon, mate. We'll see you at the next one.
You will.
As much as we can do. Good on you, mate. Thank you. So, all right, people. That's I think that's about a bit of a wrap up now for the day here. So we're over at the property of Ben Duxson, and we're just trying not to get run over. So at the end of the day, you've seen what's happened here. TCV, their head honcho, their boss, on the 7:30 report last night said they're going to be coming back. That this project, they are going to push it through. We've got people here who are fighting for their life. They're fighting for everything they've ever worked for. They're looking at having it taken off them. And as you can see, a lot of the people here are very, very unimpressed with some of our farmer representative lobby groups who suck up a lot of money. We've got a traffic jam now, can you believe it? Out in the middle of nowhere, traffic jam. Anyway, yeah, so this is deadly, deadly serious. And we need our farm lobby groups, or pretend ones, to actually come and do an interview with us, make a statement as to where they stand, make a statement as to what's happening and what they're prepared to do. Because many of these farmers here pay money to these organisations to be represented. And I'm struggling to see how they're representing them in all this at all. So I think we're running the risk of we're running the risk of seeing that these organisations are nothing more than government puppets. So this is something we need to continue to tackle. We need to put pressure on these so-called farmer representative groups, because they should be out here. They should be screaming from the rooftops. They should be in the media saying a lot of the things that the people here today, the farmers on the ground, are saying. Because I know that a lot of these farmers here have been to many, many meetings where they've had experts who have said this stuff can't do it. It's not going to be able to do it. So where are our governments? They're the ones selling us out to the international corporates. They're the ones who are destroying our country. And as you can see, they're going to have a bit of a blue on their hands. And as the Australian people, we need to get behind our farmers, and we need the rest of our farmers to get behind our farmers. And this is a thing I've been calling for a long, long time. We need an actual national agricultural fighting force, because if we bring all the farmers in Australia together, we have got the finance, we have the social credibility, we have the social influence, we've got the political influence and the power that if we take them on as a unit, then, you know, it's better late than never. Should have been doing this 20 years ago, but I think we're in with a big chance to knock this stuff over if we pull people together. And the first thing we need to do is deal with these bills that were just passed, the national let's kill farmer bill. That's what it is. This is giving the Labor Party and the Greens, who are the slaves of the World Economic Forum and the UN and the WHO, that gives them the power to take down our farmers. So we need to push back against that, and we need to be pushing back against a bill that's going to come up in the Parliament sometime soon, and it's a bill to shut down people's right to speak against anything we've heard here today. Anything that speaks against the climate change fraud and all the things that they want to do to fix this fanciful, fraudulent climate emergency. It's not a climate emergency, it's climate crap. The governments are the one creating the emergency. So anyway, we'll leave it there. Wade Northhausen here for Billboard Battalion. Today is Tuesday, the 2nd of December 2025, and we'll bring you more when we see what's happening. Thanks very much.